aspects of aging. Who wants to talk about that? Well, I'll tell you, it's people who are feeling really good. I mean, they're proud of how they are handling aging emotionally, inside, psychologically, their attitude, just who they are personally. They're just feeling really good about how they are managing a hurdle or circumventing or tunneling under or facing it head on or helping someone else by pointing out, hey, this is an aspect of aging. Not that it's just common and you got to get used to it and you got to expect that at our age, but that this is something that is real and it has to be handled the way that you want to handle it on your own terms. It's also people who value their relationships, maybe more or most of all. Uh, they're they're people oriented, or they are such introverts they don't want to lose those few deep relationships just because things are bothering them, just because they think they're being a bother to others. So aspects of aging are something that you want to have a handle on. What kind of issues or challenges, or what kind of opportunities present themselves as you age? The last time in the last episode, I asked you, I said, they say you can't take it with you. So when you die, you won't be able to take that along with you. What is it that you would take along with you if you did have one thing or one category that you could, one object that you could bring with you? Well, I may have thought of that differently than you did. I thought, well, my husband and I have been talking about our final preparations, our funeral arrangements. And I thought, I better take my journals, my diaries with me so that they can be cremated so no one can read them, except my pre-act your age journal, because I will have been crafting that for the third of my life. I will probably have some nuggets of wisdom. I will probably have some jokes or pictures or scribblings or really important thoughts that I will have written in there. And I will want somebody else to dig that out of somewhere and go, wow, what a person. Oh my goodness. What a contribution to this planet. So glad we found this. Maybe there's something else you would like to take with you. I will go ahead and jump right in to an aspect of aging, and that is activity reduction. Or is it activity redirection? So, in my experiences as an in home caregiver with people who were sometimes 20, 30, 40 years, 50 years beyond me, nearly 50 years, they were born 45 years before I was born. Those people seemed to have an activity redirection. I was helping them with activities of daily living, ADLs. So they did still have activity, but the direction was more refined. So maybe that's the nice way of saying they only did one thing all day long. Not true. They were purposeful about reserving energy, about how many different widespread activities they were going to participate in so that they could meet their goal well, their own way, independently, with their mind clear, their emotions calm, relationships still growing deeper. So, once upon a time in their lives, they were what people used to say spinning a lot of plates. It was just kind of an act, like a magic act, but it was keeping plates spinning on top of these wiggly poles. So we'll just say they were using a lot of devices. They were making sure that corporations were still happening, that backyards were being mowed, that people were coming, going, packages were being put in the right place, logistics. They had so many different things going on. They either had to or they chose to. As you continue to live, you might actually treasure completing one project to a satisfying end rather than just always making sure that there's lots of holes that have been plugged in and you're not even sure where it's all going. At this point, you may really have some specific goals that you want to reach today, this month. The next aspect of aging is puberty. Puberty part 2. Your body is changing again. Okay, your skin is changing. Your hair is, well, you're having unusual hair days, like months at a time, kind of like junior high. Although at times, this junior high puberty that's happening to your body, happening to the inside of your body, happening to your emotions and your relationships, because it's all ping ponging back and forth on each other. Your junior high revisitation of puberty part 2 becomes a senior low. You are just truly having difficulty with this. It is difficult to balance your reactions, responses. It is hard to even feel those relationships as you have always felt them all these years. Just like when you were in junior high, now it's your senior low. My recommendation at this point is actually to write your apology ahead of time. Just assume that there will be a point when you've just had it. This is the last straw. There's another thing going wrong, not maintaining. You didn't give you a chance to adjust. It didn't get your permission to happen to your body, and you're just going to have difficulties. So at that point, it may be good that the people that are most important to you already have your written apology saying, you know what, I'm just going through puberty part 2. And everyone can go, oh, all righty. There will be an adjustment period, and soon there will be a high again. Phew. Or at least a plateau for a few moments, for a few months. And the changes won't be felt so drastically. The third aspect of aging is about dignity. So we have done activity, puberty, and now dignity. So this is having this many people in the bathroom, and somehow I am supposed to keep my dignity. I don't know what is worse, having the people who have always looked up to and respected me now looking down at me and talking about things that are very, very personal and embarrassing, and I don't even want to talk about. Or is it horrible to have complete strangers who are touching and moving and suggesting and dressing and undressing in ways that have not happened to me since I was under 3 years old? Why is this happening, and how can I move on from this point? And I'm just going to remind you that when this happens, well, I should say that a wonderful person who I fully, fully respected. I know what this person did for others when they needed physical help in a private situation. I call this the private reserve because you've been reserved and you've kept your privacy for so long. Now you're having to give it up. And it seems funny to a person on the outside, but to you, it is just, it's against your core values. It's just wrong on every level. It's taking away your humanity. This gentleman said there comes a point when that bathroom becomes your adversary, and to have to give up your last, oh my goodness, what do they call it? The last monicum of your dignity, something like that. In this situation, somebody really cares. They care about your pericare. You can look that one up at the Aging Better Network. They care about your pericare. They care that you are traversing slippery surfaces, and somehow you are supposed to manage to come out squeaky clean and unharmed. It's so unfair. So there are ways to approach that situation, you yourself, and you can actually train other people the best way to approach you. We are not talking about someone who is affected by dementia or another brain situation. We are talking about you, who you are right now. You still feel like you're the age that you are right now as you're viewing this, but somehow your body has moved on without you. And you are looking at accepting things that just turn you inside out. I do have a question to start to wrap up this episode. And the question is kind of the opposite of last episode's question. I asked for that time, you can't take it with you, but if you could, what would you take? This time, I'm going to ask you, is there an activity? Is there, I'll say, an aspect of puberty, your skin, your hair, the inside of your body, the awkwardness, the way that it's like, do I even know my body anymore? An activity, an aspect of puberty, or a part of your dignity that you want to lose, that you want to give up, that you want to place on the shelf now as you continue into aging? Is there something that you just want to be done and over with and draw that line right now and realize that you're still intact even though you've lost that? You are still you. So that's my question for the next episode. Is there something you would like to lose? I would like to highlight that in the Pre-Act Your Age Prompted Journal, there are 5 C's at the end of all the prompts. And the second C is critique it. So the second C, critique it, is about that pre-action plan that you have chosen, something you're doing right now, today, this week, before the end of the weekend. And you are designing that. I've given you a suggestion in the journal, but you're choosing it. So be aware of your emotions, what you think about it, your opinion, before, during, after. It could be all three. Before, during, after you complete that pre-action. Was it trepidation? Was it, oh, forget it, I'm not going to do this at all? Was it, this is not my style, but I'm going to give it a try for the sake of my relationships? How did you feel? That is the second of the 5 C's at the end of each aspect of aging page. One aspect of aging at a time. 52 altogether, so you have one for every week of the year. That is the second of the letter C prompts at the end of the page. I would like to announce, I'm just getting a big smile for this one. I would like to announce the 3 aspects of aging for the next episode. Let's see, the first one is adult children are experiencing aspects of aging. Did I get old enough to have old children? The next one, I need an aging doula. What is a doula and what does a doula do? And last, still having value to contribute. Boy, can that be taken a lot of different directions. I mentioned earlier opportunities of aging. I still have value to contribute. It might be something that I've done my whole life. It might be something that I haven't done in decades. It might be something that I can do differently now that I am this age because of the way I am perceived by the other demographic community. Anyway, people that are younger than me. At the end of each episode, I say that I am Christine A. Smith. So I'd like for you to, I don't know, be yourself for a moment. You are, name your name. And what is your attitude toward aging at this point? Maybe this is the first episode you've ever seen, or maybe you've been going with me through, and this is your 15th. What is your attitude toward aging? Well, I am Christine A. Smith, and I can tell you about my attitude because I am the aging enthusiast.